Britain's Prince Harry, his wife Meghan, and her mother were involved last night in what a family spokesperson is describing as a near catastrophic car chase involving paparazzi in New York City. For more on this, we are joined live now by Richard Berthelsen, CTV's royal commentator. Richard, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
No problem.
There is a lot to get into here, but I think we have to start by acknowledging, and I'd love to get your thoughts on how eerily similar this is to what caused Princess Diana's death all those years ago.
Yeah, I think that was the thought of many people when they heard this today, was thinking back to that incident. And of course, Harry has spoken eloquently about it. And of course, as we know, the impact it had on his life and how he's trying to avoid that in his current life and with his wife. So, I mean, I think all of that's wrapped up into this. And so it's very concerning. And I think anyone who feels they're being pursued through the streets of New York by paparazzi or anybody else would feel a degree of concern about that, and no one should be in that situation. The story we have so far, I think, seems to emanate largely from a release from their side, that is Harry and Meghan's side. And I'm not sure we have a lot of real clarity on some of the details, and I think some people find it a little bit hard to really imagine in a city as crowded as New York with traffic and everything else that a 2-hour car chase could take place where the police would not intervene. So it's quite a story. It's unfortunate that it's happened. I think it's a really unfortunate association, but what actually was the circumstance here is, I think, yet to be determined.
I want to pick up on that a little bit, because you're right. There is a little bit of, he said, she said happening here. The family spokesperson calling this incident near catastrophic. We're now hearing from a New York City cab driver who's saying, look, the paparazzi kept their distance. Is it fair to Harry and Meghan, though, to not take them at their word? What does that say?
Well, I think anyone who feels this way, as I say, I think we have to take it seriously. And I think, it's obviously an unfortunate situation. It seems to me that what they may have been more concerned about was maybe divulging where they were staying, or particularly if that was with private individuals. Now, I think this goes to the whole approach to dealing with the media by Harry and Meghan, and they're determined to do it their way. But to my knowledge, there was no mainstream media access to the event that she got the award. I don't think we've seen very much footage of the award or the speech. We've heard a little bit about it. And so it seems to me that maybe independent photographers were highly motivated to get some kind of photograph where they could. And maybe they did cut some corners, and that's an issue. But I think it also goes to decisions that are made around media management. And I think the notion that they were somehow less safe in the United Kingdom, that this is less likely to happen, and they had to leave that country, when we see in the United States these things can happen much, much more easily, even in a city of New York, which has many, many celebrities and important people crawling the streets who seem to get away with a degree of anonymity.
I've got about 20 seconds left here, but I will ask you very quickly, will Buckingham Palace issue a statement? That's a big question. Will Harry's brother, Prince William, reach out? And will his father, the king, reach out? That's also a big question.
Yeah, I think the king may well reach out privately to Harry and Meghan, but as they're not working members of the royal family, they've made a real clear distance. I don't expect to hear any statement unless the story changes appreciably. I think there's a lot more information to come out on this, and the British press will certainly be looking into it, as will the American press, and I think American authorities as well, because they can't have these kinds of things happen if it's truly as described on the streets of New York.
CTV's Richard Berthelsen, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.